Well, hey there, and happy Good Friday to you. Meteorologist Elise here with a look at your first alert forecast. And here's what we're tracking. There's really not much that's going to be going on heading into your Easter weekend. So, some good news for you. Temperatures still in the 80s, like what we've got today. Cloudy, but mostly dry conditions. While there is a slim chance at a shower by Easter Sunday, I do not think most of you are going to see any rain for the weekend. But next week is going to be a different story. Temperatures will be slightly cooler as we see numerous shower and storm chances going into next week. So here's what it looks like for us. There is a very low end chance at some strong storms Sunday night. But here's the thing, if that system doesn't make it here, there's not a chance that you see strong storms. And you can see how it's been trimmed back to just a marginal risk now rather than that slight risk that we had earlier in the week. So here's your hour by hour look. There's a chance that we maybe see a sprinkle or two on Saturday, but most of this rain kind of fizzles out trying to make its way into central Mississippi. We will have plenty of clouds overhead and plenty of moisture in the air, and that is going to contribute to the potential for some showers on Sunday. But you see here still that coverage very, very low. But if you look to our north and west, you can see how as we go into the overnight and early Monday morning, this next front starts to approach the area. And that is expected to try and creep down into some of our southern Delta counties. It's Queen Sharkey, Humphreys by that early morning commute on Monday. But I really think it's going to be moving very slowly. And with that said, that's where you will have that potential at a stronger storm with maybe some damaging wind gusts or some hail. But it just isn't looking all that impactful as far as severe potential. Now, rain-wise, we do expect to see pretty widespread coverage by the time we get to Monday later in the morning or even into the afternoon hours, and that front finally pushes through the area. And once it stalls out, which we are expecting it to do, we'll continue to see rain chances throughout next week. They very slowly start to trend down just a little bit more, and that's mainly because we don't have as much certainty the further we get into the end of the week. It does, however, look like by the end of next week and into the following weekend, we'll start to see dry conditions make a return. That does mean temperatures will be warming back up. So we're expecting to see temperatures today in the upper 80s, maybe even right at the 90-degree mark. That's well above average for this time of year. Same story Saturday. And by Sunday, with more clouds overhead and that slim chance at a shower and a slight turn in the winds, most likely into the overnight hours, we do see temperatures start to trend a little bit further down. They're close to normal going into next week, upper 70s or low 80s. And our average high for this time of year is 77 right now. By next week, it's 78 degrees. So it won't be too far above average, but that's because we have clouds and rain in the forecast. As soon as our rain chances trend down, remember, into next weekend and the following work week, our temperatures just trend right back up, nearing the 90s again as early as the following Sunday or Monday. So the good news here, I think, is that the rain is going to be here for the work week, so it shouldn't impact your weekend plans this weekend or the following weekend. And I think a lot of you can maybe be happy with that being in the forecast. Hey, Deborah Jackson, good afternoon to you. Here's a view for you from our First Alert Skycam. You're looking out from downtown Jackson here, and it is warming up quickly out there. It's 84 now in Jackson. We do still have plenty of sunshine, 86 in Vicksburg, but it's windy. Out there, and we've got winds gusting between 15 and 20 miles per hour. I'm just reading a comment here on our Facebook that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I'm making that face, you guys. I might even hide it because it just doesn't make much sense. I am working, in case you're wondering, Gwendolyn. This is my job, to be here telling you the weather. So we do have temperatures expected to continue climbing, about 2 more hours now of warming for us to do, and that would leave us right around the 90-degree mark, or at least in the upper 80s later this afternoon. More clouds overhead tomorrow, but still in the upper 80s, still breezy too, winds at 20 to 25 miles per hour. So warm, gloomy weather for your Easter weekend, but not much rain. So that's good news for us. And next week, we do have quite a bit of rain on the way. Now, here's the thing. It's not expected to be a washout. We'll likely see somewhere between 1 and 2 inches, but that will be in total for the whole week. So Monday through Friday, we expect to see somewhere between 1 and 2 inches of rainfall, but it's not going to be a washout for you maybe until we get to the end of the week. And then things will be soggy for sure, but they'll be drying back up going into that following weekend. And it looks like the next week we might see some relatively dry weather as well. So that's your first alert forecast. Not anything for you to complain about on this Good Friday or on your Easter weekend. And I'll have another look for you coming up at 6:30 with meteorologist Anay Scales. She's going to be doing the 4 o'clock news today. I'll be in for Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts on the 5 and the 6. And then Anay will be here with you at 10 o'clock on WLBT. So join us then, and we'll have more looks at your first alert forecast. But I don't expect to see too many changes over the coming hours.